One limiting belief that a lot of people don't talk about is this belief that you can mess things up. This fear that if you make the wrong turn, if you make the wrong move, that if you act or if you don't act at the exact right time, that you could forfeit everything. Well, I want to tell you, I more so want to encourage you to let go of that belief. And the reason that you can let go of that belief is because you're not walking this journey alone. Your higher self has always been guiding you. Even before I embarked on what I consider my spiritual journey, there were decisions that I made that I have no explanation for as to why I made those decisions. But ultimately, I've come to discover that those decisions were always a part of the plan. And here I thought I was just following my heart, following my intuition. And all the while, these were a part of the plan. The people that I let go of, the places that I had to leave, I just intuitively knew when it was time to go. So this fear that you don't know what's coming next, this fear of the unknown, it's natural that this fear will come up. But that doesn't mean that you have to be susceptible or entertain it. You can simply let it go as an unwarranted fear. But understand, you are always being divinely guided. What does that mean? You're not alone. So as long as you listen to yourself, which is the most important thing, a lot of us become dependent on outside guidance. And if you think about it, if you replay your life, that's probably where you actually went wrong most of the time, was listening to other people. When your intuition knows exactly what you need and exactly what is coming. So it's going to lead and guide you to make the best decisions for yourself. When other people are giving you guidance, not to say that you can't listen to guidance sometimes, it is good for us to all learn from one another. But you always have to check in with yourself and don't put other people's guidance on a pedestal over yours. Just because they're older, because they have a degree, because somehow you think that they're wiser. Understand that many of us have been here many lives. So age doesn't matter. All of these things that you think matter. How long you've been on your spiritual journey. These things don't matter. Because some of these lessons, it takes lifetimes to acquire this wisdom. And while you're sleeping on yourself, you might just very well be an old soul who has more knowledge and wisdom than you actually realize because you haven't yet tapped into it. Intuitive. It is a gift, but it requires your trust. So you have to learn to tap into your body. You have to learn to tune in with yourself, your higher self. You have to learn to trust yourself. And I will admit this takes practice because there's a lot of things going on in that mind of yours sometimes. This is why you have to sit, examine, identify, observe the thoughts that come. But usually your intuition speaks to you with confidence. Always pay attention to the energy that is emitted with the messages. If the thought is emitting an energy of fear, of lack, of doubt, of even versions of yourself that you no longer align with, right? Because sometimes when you are transforming, old versions of yourself are going to try to come up. They're going to try to come back. So you have to be able to identify when you're hearing the voice of the new version of yourself and when you're hearing the voice of the old version. Don't judge it. Just identify it. And if it no longer aligns with where you are now, simply say to yourself, that no longer aligns with me. And you keep it moving. Don't entertain it. Don't beat yourself up and ask yourself, why am I having these thoughts? This is a part of the process. Old thoughts are going to resurface. Just like old people, they come back around when you're moving on, when you're moving forward. It doesn't mean that you have to entertain them. So when it comes to this journey, you have to trust that you're going to be guided, because I'm telling you, there were times where I made decisions and now I look back and I just think that version of myself, because she had no idea that those decisions were actually protecting her, that those decisions were allowing her to close cycles, that those decisions were allowing her to quantum leap. I had no idea about this stuff, you guys, but I always had an intuition. And if there's one thing that I've always listened to, it is my intuition. So once again, it's okay for you to get help, support, for you to exchange and share ideas. But know that everything is inside of you. All of the answers that you seek are inside of you. You just cannot be afraid to ask. If you ask, you will receive. Are you open to hear the answer? And sometimes that requires stillness and you shutting everything else out except that voice in your head. That is your intuition